Right. Morning, guys. Morning. It's Louis, Southwest UK. Talking Elvis again. Welcome to all of you.
Welcome to you.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Tina has promised me he's going to be quiet. Tina, my little 4-year-old son.
You're full.
Yeah, he's the dad. I'm the 4-year-old. So, in case you're new to this channel, there's many aspects to this channel.
I'm a sticky licky.
Okay, but you are going to be quiet, otherwise I'm going to have to beat you. Right. Yeah, do you want these, Tina? Got you some crisps? Do you want some crisps?
Yeah.
I'm only giving them if you're going to promise me you're going to be quiet. Look at the camera and say, I promise no, look at the camera. I promise I'm going to be quiet. Say, pretty please. Pretty please. Not working, is it? Right, now please be quiet because it's hard to talk over you. You're so cute. So then don't stand with me. What was I going to say? So there's many aspects to this channel. First of all, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so you get reminders of my videos and my live streams. Really important because 78% of you are not subscribed. It makes all the difference to the channel. It really helps boost the channel and it just makes me feel good. I love getting new subscribers because I get to see who you are. And our family grows. We want our family to grow. And I've changed the channel name slightly. So it's Elvis Presley Daily Planet. Search for the truth. I think it speaks for itself. I might even add in another word saying Elvis Daily. I might get rid of the word planet and call it Elvis Daily Fans Search for the Truth. That's what I'm thinking of doing it. Elvis Presley Daily Fans Search for the Truth. That's what I'm thinking of calling it. Because we now really are together trying to defend Elvis against all the people that are unfairly talking about him. It's not right. And he can't stick up for himself. So we're going to do it through the comments. And we're going to be loud and proud of how we defend Elvis. Now, we're not going to whitewash Elvis. We're going to be honest. We're going to accept the wrongdoing that Elvis has done. But we're also going to look, because I literally am searching for things that have been unfairly done to Elvis so that we can do the research, find out the facts, and stick up for him. Stick up for Elvis. That's why we're here, guys. But don't forget, I also have done 4,000 odd videos all about Elvis, just normal videos and shorts that are praising Elvis and on every different aspect of Elvis's life, going right back to the army till his very last concert. So there are loads of great videos for you guys to catch up on and watch, and just it doesn't have to always be the live streams, but the live streams are the focus of my attention at the moment. I think as we get back into winter, I'll start doing some more just normal videos, normal shorts. So the topic of today, I've sort of got bad news for you, because the topic of today is that many fans feel that it was Vernon's idea just before he passed away to launch Graceland as a living museum. Yeah. I even had comments saying that he even did a trial period and tried it out $5 a go and just let a few of the public in just to see how it would be, see if people would want to go in there and walk around Elvis's home. So the rest is history. We know that Priscilla, we'll get the video up, launched Graceland. Let's have a look. Let me just find it. Around the world, behind the scenes, you had people, the ECO like Jack Sodden, and there was an accountant and a couple of other trustees, I think. And it was a bit of a gamble. Obviously, they were facing serious financial problems after Vernon died. he allowed Priscilla to become the trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie. And the intention back then was always to keep things as original as possible, how Elvis had it, for Lisa Marie, and the possibility that when she turns 25, that she may want to live there. So they kept it very similar to the day he died. So and I think that was Lisa Marie's wishes as well. So I did make a few videos. So I'm just going to play a few, and then we're going to look a few other bits and bobs. But anyway, so far I have found almost no evidence of Vernon coming up with that idea originally. I found people saying it, but I haven't found any evidence. I did find an old news clip. I'll show you it, and I'm going to read it to you. That Vernon, before he passed away, was offered $10 million for Graceland, which in, I think, around 1978. Yeah, it says here, October the 12th, 1978, in the Nashville Banner, the Tennessee Nashville Banner. So it's a proper news clip. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the Tennessee Nashville Banner. And the title of this short clip is Elvis's father rejects offer to sell Graceland. And he was offered $10 million, which in 1978 was a lot. It was like, I think it was the equivalent of $46 million. So I'm going to read it to you. Memphis, the father of Elvis Presley, said on Wednesday that he had rejected an offer to sell the late entertainer's Graceland's mansion to two private investors for $10 million. Vernon also said the city had not yet made an offer for the 18-bedroom mansion his son purchased in 1957 for $100,000. The singer died in the mansion on August the 16th, 1977. The elderly Presley, executor of the late singer multi-million dollars estate, also explained why he had added an apartment to Graceland instead of moving in the mansion. So he lived behind Graceland. There's a long storyline behind that. I think there was issues with Elvis to do with who Vernon married, but that's just for another live stream. I decided to keep the main house intact as it was when Elvis died, Vernon Presley said. The furniture and all the other fixtures are still as they were then, and I needed a place for my furniture and fixings. Presley had a bedroom, a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, a den added to the garage apartment he used to live in at Graceland, giving him a 3-bedroomed, 3-bath kitchen and den apartment with a large attic. The cost was $37,000. So basically, he converted the garage to a 3-bedroom apartment. Does that sound right to you? Presley said that he turned down the $10 million offer and another offer from another group of investors several months ago. He declined to identify the interested parties or say why he rejected their offer. The father of the famous superstar said, we would do nothing unless Lisa Marie, the late singer's daughter, would be happy. So I do think everything was going through Lisa Marie. Even though she was so young, they were respecting her wishes. And she definitely did not want the upstairs touched, 100%. But at this point, she wouldn't have known that it was going to be a living museum. So, but I know that when I've looked at Priscilla's interviews, she clearly says that Lisa Marie did not want the upstairs touched. And I've heard Lisa Marie herself say that she did not want upstairs touched. So I was going to just show you a few video clips. Hi, Elvis fans. And in an interview with Priscilla Presley and her parents, they discuss what went on after Elvis passed away and this shock situation where the money had run out And the accountants and the lawyers were basically saying that things had to be sold up to pay the debts. There was less than £500,000 left, which was not enough. And a massive decision needed to be made if it was going to get taken over by the estate or to be auctioned off. And Priscilla Presley was given less than a year to make the decision. And as we all know, she decided to reopen Graceland as a living museum. Probably the most successful thing she ever did. So I made that about a year ago. And at the time I made that video, I wasn't aware that Vernon had been also trying to do the Living Museum before he passed away. And this is why we're doing this video, because I'm trying to find out how much truth there is to it. So I've got another video here of me on it as well, where it's got Jack Sodden, the guy who helped Priscilla financially with the launching of Graceland Museum. It does give the impression that it was Priscilla with Jack Sodden and an accountant and a couple of trustees, but we're just going to watch it. I think I did it about 6 months ago. I'm not sure when I did it, actually. Let's just watch it. And we'll get... Hey guys, well, it's all over the news about Graceland being sold off, being auctioned off. I think it's pretty obvious. It's a scam, and Riley Keough is going to sort this out. But this made me think I might start doing some looking into some of the history of Graceland, starting with when Priscilla stepped in to try and save Graceland. And I know that many of you think that it wasn't Priscilla that saved Graceland, and it was many other people, including Vernon Presley before he passed away. So let's just have a little look at this interview. It also has the CEO of Graceland in this as well. I think it's very interesting. We're going to watch it together, and then I'll comment as we go along. We had attorneys and bankers, and we had a meeting. I was one of the executors to the estate. And one of the attorneys said, after the few of these meetings, said, well, we're going to have to sell Graceland. And I looked at him, and I never felt so, how could I say, strong on my conviction is that will never happen. I looked at him straight in the eye. Never happen. And no matter what everyone thinks about Priscilla and their views on whether or not she saved Graceland, in this particular interview, she comes across very genuine and speaking from the heart. And I think she really did want to save Graceland. So he goes, we're running out of money. And I said, we're not selling Graceland. So that's when I went out to start searching for someone to help me, guide me, assist me, partner with me, anything to help. And no matter what everyone thinks about Priscilla and their views on whether or not she saved Graceland, in this particular interview, she comes across very genuine and speaking from the heart. I said, Jack, what if you help me? What if you partner with me on opening Graceland? And Jack just, looked at me. He goes, well, sure. I mean, absolutely. And agreed to get started, rolled the sleeves up, and had many, many meetings. And here we are today. And he's still here with us today. And we know this massive decision to save Graceland, to stop it from being sold off in pieces, was the right decision. Now, was it because of Priscilla Presley? I don't think we'll ever know the answer to that question. But she definitely did play a major role in saving Graceland. No matter how we feel about Priscilla, how angry or upset fans are with Priscilla, she did play a pivotal role in saving Graceland. I really believe this.
And he was the right person. So I feel blessed in that.
So let's listen together to Jack Sodden, giving his account of things unfolding way back then when the massive decisions were being taken about saving Graceland.
I remember might have been one of the very first, but in a meeting in the big conference room at the Glencoe firm, and everybody was there. Yeah, I think you were there, Joe was there, Jim from the bank.
Those are the other two executives.
The other two executives. But Frank Lankler, that was such a character, and Matt Webner, remember he was a rights lawyer. In other words, there were like a room full of like 20 lawyers and accountants and everything else with the clock burning, and basically Priscilla was you were just this single voice going, no. They were all their aggregate opinion was the smart fiduciary thing to do is sell everything, invest the money, and etc. And Priscilla was just going, no, we're not doing that.
And I do think Priscilla Presley, with the help of other... So you get the gist of that video. I have watched loads of videos this morning, and I've Googled and Googled and Googled, and I am struggling, guys, to find anything that shows that Vernon had anything to do with the idea of opening it up as a museum before Priscilla. So this is where I ask for your help, guys. Please, can you look into, do some research, and let's try and get anything that shows Vernon was a big part of the idea to launch Graceland. Because I know that many of you fans feel that Priscilla wasn't the reason that Graceland was saved and opened as a museum and prevented from being sold. So I need help on this one. I did find just one clip. Let me see if it's here. And it was off a YouTube channel called Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel. Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel. It's only a few seconds I've got of it. And I'm going to play it for you guys. And I hope he doesn't mind me playing it. It's only a few seconds. It seems like a brilliant channel, guys. Right, let's just see if it's going to play.
A lot of people know this, but Vernon had the idea of opening up the house prior to the 1982 opening.
Yes.
So maybe he had that on his mind in 1978.
See, so, okay, he's obviously an avid Elvis fan, and he makes that point, but we do need proof, guys. We need some proof. Let's just look at a few more videos. I mean, I can't stay on that long. I've got to take my son to football this morning. So I found a few videos that I'd made. Let's try this one.
First of all, I'd like to welcome you all here today. And I'm happy to announce, as you know, that Graceland will be open to the public as a memorial museum to Elvis Presley.
I will say this, that opening Graceland as a living museum obviously has been a massive success, and it was a very public opening. There's many videos on YouTube showing Priscilla Presley launching Graceland. So let's carry on listening to Priscilla.
And it's been an adventure, I have to say. Who would have known that that he's as popular, if not more, today than he was years ago.
It's so true that I don't think anyone could have predicted just how popular Elvis Presley would remain decades later. See, so it's a tough one, guys, because I've been looking and looking. Let's have a look at this one that I did. I've done quite a few videos over the last year.
After your dad died, I was left really with nothing to work with, and it was a shock when I found out, through all the lawyers and the accountants, that we had nothing really to go back to, because it was either sell Graceland or give it up to the state.
What do you give credit for the preservation of Graceland?
Priscilla, no question about it. For a girl that didn't know too much about it, you know.
I understand. There wouldn't be a Graceland today if it wouldn't be for Priscilla.
The estate was literally down to its last $500,000.
I asked, how long do I have? Less than a year to make the decision if it was going to estate or auction it off. I'm thinking of opening it up and maybe, opening it as a museum. They did not want to do that. They felt that, we should just get rid of it and that whatever, know who Elvis was or your dad was in, less than maybe 5 years. Basically, I knew better. I knew your dad left us a lot of things to work with.
She did that to save Graceland.
Yep.
So there's quite a few things there. You see Lisa Marie sat with her mother. You also hear Priscilla say to Lisa Marie that she feels that if Graceland hadn't have been saved as a living and opened as a living museum, that Elvis within 5 years would have been forgotten. And I definitely don't believe that. Elvis was never going to be forgotten, so I completely disagree with that comment. You've also got the parents of Priscilla that say that if there wasn't a Priscilla, there'd be no Graceland. I disagree with that as well. They were going to, I think it was getting opened as a museum. I think it was inevitable. It was just who was going to be the front person of Graceland. And the obvious choice, because it's Lisa Marie's mother, was Priscilla. And also she looked the part. She was beautiful. And I think back in the early 80s, I think the public was still very fond of Priscilla. I think many of the public really sort of were. I don't know if this book had been quite released yet, but I think that the whole fairy tale of the romance between Elvis and Priscilla that had unfolded in front of the public's eyes for over 10 years, I think the public were in love with that. Yes, they're not on that phone. That phone's not working. Can't do it on that phone.
Look.
I know, but I tried it now. I'll try one more time, but I remember it's not working. Remember, this phone isn't working. All right, let's have a look. Well, I'm finishing in a minute. I'm only doing a short one. Just try it and see. We'll see what happens, yeah? So I've spoken about this many times. Yeah, let me just finish this. I'm only going to be a minute. So I've spoken about this many times, and we, the public, going right back to the late 50s and 60s and 70s, we bought into the romance of Elvis and Priscilla, and we all sort of felt that it went wrong because of Elvis being a superstar and being unfaithful. That's the truth of it. We all bought into that storyline, but I think us Elvis fans, as we got a bit savvy and bits of information started to come out, that there was a whole dark side to the reasons why Elvis and Priscilla had split up, that Priscilla had also been unfaithful. And then even now, moving right forward, and when we start discovering the facts of the divorce settlement, right, wait, hello, I'm talking. God, I'm going to have to really start beating my kids. It's going to be done. My tea's getting cold as well. I'm taking in football now. We're going football, aren't we, Tino? We're going in a minute, and then you're out with Nanny today, so I can do a proper live. Anyway, so I'm going to keep this quite short, because we've got to go for football. But I'm asking you guys, please help me. Let's find some information that proves that Vernon came up with the idea first. I want that. I want proof, actual proof. And otherwise, we're going to have to say that it was Priscilla's idea. So I need your help, guys. I do think that in the early 80s, a lot of what we were told by Priscilla, everyone believed because everyone trusted her back then. Everyone had fallen for the fairy tale. Now, as I was just saying just now before my son jumped on top of me, I think that if we, how can I say it? If we knew then what we knew now, everything would be very, very different, very different. I also was going to go through some of the history of Graceland as well, and a bit. I was going to look more into Vernon as well. So where he, at the time of death, when Elvis died, and obviously Vernon lived longer, I was going to go into that a bit and how Vernon was trying to cope, show some of the interviews of Vernon. And they're quite upsetting interviews, showing him talking to the public and thanking the public for all the letters, etc. And he clearly says that the public sympathy, outpouring of love for Elvis, helped him get through. Unfortunately, his health was really bad, so he didn't have long. And we know that eventually it was passed. Priscilla was made the trustee, and the rest is history, isn't it? So, not a bit of a disappointing video, because I woke up at about 5:15 a.m. this morning, and I spent ages trying to find information about Graceland, and not just on videos, also on Google. I was really trying to find any write-ups, going into lots of different websites, trying to dig deep and find anything that says that was proof that it was Vernon's idea. I'd even heard that he did a trial period of opening it for $5 a go before Priscilla, but no proof. So I'm a bit between a rock and a hard place, guy. So I'm going to put it out to you. Please send me some messages. So please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. And if you're really enjoying the channel, it really means a lot to me if you become a member and click on the join button. I think it's $1 a month. And I'm really anticipating your messages, your comments. It's really important to me, especially on this particular video. And I know you guys are very passionate about the truth on who should get the credit for deciding that Gracelands should be turned into a living museum. So let's make sure that if it was Vernon as well as Priscilla, because I do believe Priscilla was a big part of it, with help, people like Jack Sodden. So I'm not trying to whitewash. No, that's the wrong word. I'm not trying to say that Priscilla had nothing to do with it. No way. I honestly do believe that Priscilla did play a massive role in the launching of Graceland and the decision whether or not it should be sold. I really do. But I want to be fair to Vernon. If it was his idea in the first place, let's put it out there so the public know. So thanks, guys. I'm going to go. Thanks for watching, all of you. Please subscribe. It's really important. Helps the channel. And I'll be back in, I'll probably be back in about 2 hours, and we'll do another, I think we're going to do another chapter of this, and we'll have a discussion about the comments we've been getting. Thanks, guys. All the best to you.